What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely fantastic day. I know I am, but there is a man, a very, very important man, who's definitely not having a great day, and that's Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. That's right, Mr. Robot himself, Mark Zuckerberg, is having itself a terrible day because, more information is coming out about that lawsuit that they're being hit with by the federal government, and it looks like they're considering forcing Facebook to divest WhatsApp and Instagram, which definitely does not make Mr. Robot happy at all. Regardless, guys, I figured we would talk about it because it's pretty big news, and without further ado, let's get into it.
It's not good. Nice rack in her ass Brazilian. Just turned 21, but my bank's a million. Swear I'm a little drunk, but it's a hell of a...
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so tech in general is just something I'm pretty interested in. I'm always reading the news on what's going on in the tech world. So when I woke up this morning and saw this headline, I definitely knew I had to make a video on it. FTC in states sue Facebook and could force it to divest Instagram and WhatsApp, which definitely is an update, dude. Last time I talked about any of this, it was just them considering what their punishment might be, and like the FTC hadn't really filed their suit yet. We didn't even know what states were on the list during the lawsuit, and so over the last week, apparently it's progressed to the point where the government is now considering divestiture, which for those of you who don't know what it is basically them saying that they might force Facebook to sell Instagram and WhatsApp because it makes them too much of a monopoly. The Federal Trade Commission and a coalition of attorney generals from 48 states and territories filed two separate antitrust lawsuits against Facebook on Wednesday. The suit targets two of Facebook's major acquisitions, Instagram and WhatsApp. Both lawsuits are seeking remedies for the alleged anti-competitive conduct that could result in requiring Facebook to divest the two apps, and the company's stock was down nearly 2% by Wednesday's market close. At the time of this going up, the stock market's not open yet. It's like 4:30 a.m. here. But regardless, I wouldn't be surprised if the stock price did slide quite a bit more, dude. The fact that the government is considering making Facebook sell Instagram and WhatsApp is a pretty horrifying idea from an investment standpoint. Listen, Facebook is still very big. They have over 1 billion users. Sure, all that stuff is true, but let's be realistic here, bro. Facebook is on the downward slide. Nobody actually likes using that app. Everybody knows that Mark Zuckerberg is definitely reading all their messages and don't want them on there. We don't know that for a fact, but let's be realistic here, bro. You ever seen Mark Zuckerberg talk? He just talks like somebody who knows everyone's secrets. So I think WhatsApp and Instagram are very important to Facebook's brand, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Instagram is basically the most relevant thing that Facebook still has going for it, and forcing them to sell it would be a pretty serious blow to Facebook's business. And the fact that 48 states are on board is crazy too, bro. Like last time we talked about it, it was a lot. But 48 states? Who were the two holdouts, man? Was it like the two states with the most old people? If I can't share my Facebook memes, then there's no reason for me to be alive. Like, damn, bro, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen one company be sued by all 48 states. I'm not counting the other two that didn't count, alright? The ones that didn't join the lawsuit, we're dropping you from the roster. It's nothing personal. It just is what it is. Facebook pushed back against the lawsuit, calling it revisionist history of the two major acquisitions the government approved of several years ago. The most important fact in this case, which the commission does not mention in its 53-page complaint, is that it cleared these acquisitions years ago, Facebook's chief counsel Jennifer Newstead said in a statement. The government now wants a do-over, sending a chilly warning to all American businesses that no sale is ever final. And I'll be honest, dude, yeah, if I'm Facebook, I'm so annoyed. The government literally already has oversight to approve these mergers and acquisitions, so they basically let Facebook buy Instagram and WhatsApp all those years ago for billions of dollars. And now they're like, oh no, you actually can't own Facebook. I get why that would piss off Facebook 100%. I don't feel like they really are a monopoly. I feel like social media definitely has enough competitors that aren't owned by Facebook or Facebook to really consider it a monopoly. But that being said too, dude, I I do think it's ridiculous that the government approved this and now is trying to take it back. Like, look, I understand y'all might regret it now, you know, maybe Facebook's a little bit too big, but forcing them to sell the stuff that you guys approved them to buy does seem a little bit ridiculous, man. Oh yeah, our bad. We know that we said you could do that, and now that you've done it, we actually don't want you to do it. Like, I know it's the government and they're allowed to do whatever they want, but it does seem a little bit unfair. I also feel like Facebook does have the argument of like, what could Instagram have been without them? The one thing that they can say is that they actually turned WhatsApp and Instagram into something that has become more profitable. Like, yeah, Instagram is huge now. I'm not really too sure how the dates coincide with Facebook acquiring it and when its growth was the biggest, but I feel like Facebook does know how to run a social network better, so I'm not really sure if forcing it to sell Instagram and WhatsApp would actually do anything. Like, the argument the government has is that if Facebook would have been independent, it would have been a massive competitor against Facebook, but I feel like Instagram definitely doesn't have enough ads to be its own standalone thing, so it probably would have had to sell to somebody else. And even then, the government is the people that approved that deal in the first place, dude. Newstead later published a lengthy blog post elaborating on Facebook's opposition to the complaint. The lawsuit focuses primarily on Facebook's history of acquiring or attempting to acquire smaller companies, alleging it's used its market power to quash potential competitors before they could turn into true rivals. In addition to the WhatsApp and Instagram acquisitions, the FTC's lawsuit points to Facebook's previous attempt to buy other social networking companies like Twitter and Snapchat. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie, this lawsuit, while the government did approve it, the fact that Facebook is always going around trying to purchase any new small social media company definitely doesn't help their case. Like, I think if Instagram and WhatsApp would have been a little bit more strategic, you know, if Mark Zuckerberg would have been like, no, these are the two I want, maybe they wouldn't be so upset about it. But the fact that Mark Zuckerberg basically went out there and was like, I'm trying to buy everything, Twitter, Snapchat, you know what, make a social media to post nothing but Starbucks cups, I don't even care, here's $1 billion, definitely makes it look like they were just more concerned with keeping rivals out of their way than like making smart acquisitions, dude. Obviously Twitter and Snapchat would have been good purchases because like they're still around, man, but there was a period in like the early 2010s where it seemed like every other week there was a new social media that was being sold to somebody for something. Like, Twitter bought Vine, dude, Facebook bought Instagram, everything was just going bonkers. What goals, man? Like, Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg are really so rich that they can just toss around $1 billion like it's nothing. Oh, hey, did y'all see that new app with the blue bird on it? You guys want to try to buy it for $5 billion? Light work for us. I get why the government does think it is a little fishy, dude. Like, come on, Mark Zuckerberg. You should have been a little bit more choosy with what type of companies you were going after. Just saying all of them when they asked you what you were trying to buy was probably not the right answer. The FTC alleges that Facebook engaged in a systematic strategy to eliminate threats to its monopoly, including the 2012 and 2014 acquisitions of Instagram and WhatsApp, respectively, which the FTC previously cleared. Facebook acquired Instagram for $1 billion and WhatsApp for $19 billion. The complaints allege that Facebook holds monopoly power in the US personal social networking market. And I'll be honest, dude, this is when I start to think the government is just kind of poo-poo brained. Like, I do not think Facebook has a monopoly. I will agree that Mark Zuckerberg is probably a robot. I think that's something we can all be in agreement with. You don't have to like Mark Zuckerberg to think that Facebook is not a monopoly. I mean, seriously, sure, they might have tried to buy Twitter and Snapchat, but they didn't. And so let's think about this. Yeah, Facebook has WhatsApp and Instagram. It's the biggest one. You've got TikTok, you have Twitter, you have Snapchat. You got plenty of other social medias. And even then, when you start to break down age ranges, Facebook really starts to look in trouble because nobody young is on Facebook. The only thing I could think you could argue they really have a monopoly in is like old people social media. Because yeah, I will agree that my grandma did not have have anything other than a Facebook account. Just a little too boomer. They just didn't understand Twitter. That's okay. It wasn't made for old people, but I do not think that you can really call it a monopoly. And while sure, I do think that like the usual term monopoly, I think is over 50% of the market. I'm sure total between Facebook and Instagram, they're about 50%. But I feel like people forget that on the internet, monopolies are just natural, dude. Look at video sharing platforms. YouTube, for example. Yeah, there could be another platform that lets me upload videos, but I want to be on the one where the most viewers are and where the most creators are, so it's this one. Naturally, there's only going to be a couple giant social media websites because, like, I don't know, nobody wants to have 80 of them. And that's another competitor, too, that I forgot to mention. YouTube technically is a social media, and I guess Google Plus did try to compete if we even want to count ones that failed. As a part of the lawsuit, the FTC will seek a permanent injunction that could result in the divestitures of Instagram and WhatsApp, the agency said. Additionally, the FTC will seek to prohibit Facebook from imposing anti-competitive conditions against third-party software developers. Since toppling early rival MySpace and achieving monopoly power, Facebook has turned to playing defense through anti-competitive means, the FTC states in its lawsuit. After identifying two significant competitive threats to its position, Instagram and WhatsApp, Facebook moved to squelch those threats by buying the companies, reflecting CEO Mark Zuckerberg's view expressed in a 2008 email that it's better to buy than compete. Only the Zuck could be this dumb, dude. Like, come on, listen. We all know that, like, Mark Zuckerberg is secretly plotting to take over the universe. Him and Jeff Bezos and Elon are all kind of 1v1ing. I guess, you know, Earth isn't really Elon's goal. He's just trying to go to Mars. He doesn't want the usual villain shtick. Regardless, we all know it. So, Mark, why are you sending emails saying it's better to buy the competition than it is to compete with them? You know that the government doesn't like you. They really don't. That Senate hearing of the 80-year-olds with Mark Zuckerberg is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Every time I bring up Mark Zuckerberg on the channel, I have to talk about it, dude, because oh my god, 80-year-olds trying to understand Facebook is hilarious. Regardless, the fact that they would be recommending divestiture is pretty serious. Like, we're talking about forcing Facebook to sell key parts of its business, which seems dumb to me. I think the government doesn't really understand that we have a massive edge in the social media space, which is becoming more important around the world, and forcing our biggest competitors to break up definitely is just gonna let other countries chip away at it. I know, controversial opinion, but you guys get what I'm saying. I just think it's silly, dude. I think all these boomers don't understand that you can just make Facebook its own company, and, you know, someone will probably just buy it in a year or two anyways. James said at a news conference Wednesday that while the states are aligned substantively with the FTC, there may be stylistic differences in the lawsuits. She made clear that the states are independent enforcers of the law. The coalition of states suing Facebook is much broader than what initially joined the Department of Justice in its suit against Google. 11 Republican state attorneys joined the Department of Justice in its suit, and other states are continuing to investigate Google and can file their own charges and potentially join the Department of Justice's complaints. The states suing Facebook include a wide swath of backgrounds, both Democrat and Republican states, and include Facebook's home state of California. Man, tech is just really not having a great year with the government. The stock prices are soaring, bro. If you've been invested in tech this year, you're having yourself a pretty good time, dude. But Google's getting sued, Facebook is getting sued, bro. Someone's gonna sue Twitter, might as well. Massachusetts is gonna hop on the bandwagon. I still don't know which states aren't involved. That was obviously talking more about the states. But yeah, to make matters worse, even if the Facebook lawsuit from the FTC doesn't force them to sell Instagram, they still do have like 48 different states that are suing them for abusing monopoly power as well. So it's not like they're out of the woods. Mark Zuckerberg better get used to courtrooms. Sorry, because he's going to be in them for a while, dude. He's going to be getting questioned by everyone. I can't wait to see compilations of all the dumb questions that get asked. Same thing with the Google lawsuit, bro. Like, yeah, I understand tech companies might not be popular right now, but I don't know. I think 48 states suing Google and Facebook does seem a little bit excessive, dude. Speaking of monopolies, like, oh yeah, Google and Facebook, we gotta sue them, but Disney is literally allowed to own everything and nobody bats an eye. The state's complaint alleges Facebook holds monopoly power in the U.S. personal networking market, similar to the FTC suit, oh my god, which says Facebook illegally maintains by deploying an buy or bury strategy that thwarts competition and harms both users and advertisers. It suggests that Facebook was driven in part by fear that the company had fallen behind in important new segments, and emerging firms were building networks that were competitive with Facebook and could be very disruptive to its dominance. The states claim Facebook kept Instagram and WhatsApp running as independent brands to fill the void so they would not be replaced by another app with the potential to erode Facebook's dominance. I don't know, I don't think that's very controversial to say. It's pretty obvious that Facebook did buy Instagram and WhatsApp and run them as brands so that way they could profit off of them, and like, yeah, I'm sure a benefit comes from the fact that it doesn't let a competitor grow. Is that really controversial to say? They're making a lot of money off Instagram and WhatsApp. That's a big benefit, you know, but yeah, of course, if something starts to take market share, then I'm gonna try to buy it, bro. Like, YouTube works differently than normal business, right? If somebody starts getting more views than me, I can't just buy them. I can't walk up to Optimus and go, hey, give me your channel. You get more views than me. I'll buy it from you. That's not really how it works. But like, yeah, if you're a social networking company and there's another social network that you think you could make money off of and run better and you have ideas to improve it and then you buy it, the money is nice, but there is the added benefit of reduced competition. I think that's just how business works. I didn't realize that like all of a sudden companies were just supposed to want competition. And like I said, they still have it, dude. I just think this lawsuit is a little bit ridiculous, bro, to be honest with you. I think it's just gonna negatively affect the tech companies, and I think they're pretty important to the economy at this point. But hey, what do I know, bro? I'm just an idiot on the internet. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Do you think they should be forced to sell Instagram? Do you not? Do you think all this is silly? I'd love to hear your opinion. If you enjoy these types of videos, subscribe, turn on notifications. I post pretty often. And if you guys want more content other than that, I do have a podcast called the SKUFFED. I will put a link down in the description. We released a new episode yesterday, so go check it out if you haven't already. And if you're in the mood for merch, I do have the Karen Christmas sweater, which can be found at the link below, along with the Haha merch and the Only Sub Club stuff, OG Sub Club. And last but certainly not least, if you become a member here on the channel, you get a shout out at the end of every single video and a verified checkmark next to your name. So without further ado, big shout out to Rogue, Michael Savage, Way Too Psycho, Alex, Jackie Gold, QWERTY, Titanium, Board, Philip, Coleman, Arrow, Logan, Nick, Carl, Typical Panda, Ansel, Master. For the boys, Aaron, TNT, Pepe, William, Christian, Ender, Mackenzie, Geo, Kyle, Jellybean, Sam Brony, Woofles, Potassium, Prime, Benedicti, Ma, Man Madness, Brandon Groves, Slick Pickle, Kim, Dylan Chungus, Tiny Proxy, Zorik, Dashy Boy, Savage, Unreal Decoy, Sebastian, Beige, Johnny Dude, Cosmic Ramen, Candy Rose, Fabulously Terrifying, Chandler Lewis, Ryuki, Sparky, and Why So Blurry. Thank you all so much for being members. I really do appreciate it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I will see you guys all in a little bit with another video. I'm out. Peace. Oh, and a link to the intro song is in the description as well if you feel like checking that out, but no pressure. Bye.